Hi everyone, this is the video to my capstone project proposal, and I have decided to create a website for a virtual student portfolio. And so, according to the U.S. Department of Education, education records are records that are directly related to a student and that are maintained by an educational agency or institution or a party acting for or on behalf of the agency of institution. These records include but are not limited to grades, transcripts, class lists, student course schedules, health records at the K-12 level, student financial information at the post-secondary level, and student discipline files. The information may be recorded in any way, including but not limited to handwriting, print, computer media, videotape, audio tape, film, microfilm, and so on and so forth. And schools have always kept an education record for students, and so many schools still store student records in file folders, and some educational institutions have chosen to record student information digitally. So I'm going to go into the rationale. And so although schools hold these records of students, there's no consistent way in which they are recorded and kept. And so in my experience of being a teacher or an educator, when I have students transferred to me, there's oftentimes a loss of records or confusion of student data, and therefore we would have to kind of start from square one with the student and are not able to fully support the student when they are transferred to us. So the goal of this project is to create a website for educational institutes across the nation to use as a means to store student information. And so it would be designed for educators who would be able to input student data in an organized way, such as student work, academic progress, student grades, interventions, assessments, and vital information for other educators to be aware of. And so I want to look at the history of electronic health records, and my hope is to create a similar system for the educational institutes to use as a means of storing this data for students. So over the course of the semester, I want to connect, or have already connected with a wide range of educational institutes, and getting their feedback on how they store student information currently. Then I'll create a working website based on the needs that schools need for a student electronic database, and then present the completed website to schools to receive feedback, and then in the end present the data before and after the creation of this website. And so I decided to use the history of medical records to justify the need for education records. And so in hopes of creating quality improvement in students' education, students will receive a clinic number as they do for medical records, but we would call it something more student-friendly, in hopes that creating this website would reduce paperwork, improve efficiency, and possibly reduce costs for educational systems. So I know this project may seem like a lot to handle, but I think it's very important for us as technology is advancing and educational institutions are collecting more data and assessments, that it's vital for us to stay consistent, especially when students are transferring or moving, because I do work at a school where there's a lot of new students and students that are leaving, and it's important for us to be able to give quality education to these students when we know what they need. So that is my proposal project.